This episode is brought to you by In Demand Toys. For all your action figure needs, head on over to In Demand. Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, let's talk toys. Let's talk about Mezco Spider-Man 2099. Almost called him amazing. He's not amazing, and this figure is not amazing, but it is quite nice. So let's talk about it. This is one of the most Mezco-y type Mezco figures. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. But first of all, just take a look at the box. How pretty. It's nothing too crazy elaborate. Mezco sometimes go with the big fold out gold foil embossed type boxes. This is just some nice super 90s Spider-Man 2099 type artwork. I really dig that. And then inside, we've got this little guy here who I was so on the shelf about buying. And then I was at Comic-Con last weekend and I brought some of you guys along with me for the live stream. And this was one of the first ever Mezco Spider-Man 2099 figures in the UK. One booth was selling them, and oh boy, he was selling them for a pretty penny as well. And I was doing the live stream, said, looks so cool, but no, I've got to resist. And then everyone went, no, you got to buy it, you coward. I was like, I can't. And then some of the super good brothers were like, you know what? Have a couple of bucks. And I was like, well, I'll buy him then. And I'm so glad I did. This is, for me, wonderful, but it also shows some of the biggest problems of Mezco. So I'm going to go into details with it because just because I like this guy, spoiler, I like this guy, it's not perfect. Not by a long shot. So first of all, let's just look at the basic body proportions. I think this is great. Mezco have done a really good job with this, where I think they must just have one basic human body that they use, I would imagine, but it works, it suits, it fits. This is a decent Spider-Man proportion type body. Maybe like, he looks a little thick. He looks a little bit bottom heavy, to be honest. Like he's got a little badonkadonk, which is kind of fine, except I feel like Spider-Man should be a bit slimmer, a bit more lithe and athletic, like a Olympic swimmer. This guy, the more I look at him, he's a little bit chunky. Actually, he looks a little familiar, I gotta say. I don't mind that, but it is a bit unusual. What turned me off about this figure, though, the reason I didn't pre-order him, though, was because the design of the suit, oh boy, shall we do this early? Let's get it out of the way, okay? It's time for the same reoccurring segment we do for every Mezco review. It's time for sock it to me. Is he wearing a sock? What? Yes, welcome to the podcast within a podcast, Sock It To Me, where we ask, is this Mezco figure wearing a sock? And the answer is yes, absolutely. This is the sockiest Mezco sock that ever rocked the sock. But I don't mind it, but also I don't love it because of the sock-like tendencies. You see, this costume, this is, like future tech, fabric and stuff. This could have easily had some of the little artistic flourishes that Mezco tends to do with their Marvel characters. Like, I've got Mezco Cyclops. Let me grab him. Bing! And you see, on Mezco Cyclops here, they've actually put all this nice piping on his suit, and they've put these kind of plasticky, reflective kind of bits and little bits of sheen and pads. That would have been great on this. I would have loved that. Because Cyclops at least has belts and buckles and straps that break up the sock, and boots. It doesn't look too socky. But this dude it's all just one piece. So if you were ever going to add more details to break it up, this is the one you should have done it with, guys. Because it totally, I'll be the first to say, it looks like he's wearing a romper suit. He looks like a little child. He looks like a toddler in a Spider-Man 2099 romper suit. It looks a bit ridiculous. I'm still saying though, I really like it. But I totally get if anyone is saying, Mezco looks like a sock, it looks like pajamas. Yeah, it does, totally. 10 out of 10 on the sock scale. I wish they'd been more creative with the piping and layers and just different stuff to zhuzh it up. But they didn't. So let's move on from there. Another bad point, though, I gotta say. The web cape on the back, that's one of the coolest parts, I think, of Spider-Man 2099's costume, is the tattered web cape. It's not really a cape, it's just something to look cool. 90s. What did 90s superheroes have? Cool, tattered, spawn-like capes that blow and billow behind them. That's what this kind of was, but a smaller version. Could they have recreated it easily? Yeah, they could have. Did they do a good job of it? No. No, this looks so stupid. This was the best you guys could do? It looks awful. I mean, maybe if you just made it a bit bigger. It looks so small. It looks so small. It looks so silly. It needs to billow out more. It needs to be a bit longer and have longer bits and be a bit more ragged. This is just like a napkin. It looks like he's wearing his napkin the wrong way round. Terrible. Guys, don't worry. I'm gonna roast this. I love it, but I'll still roast it. It doesn't look good. It really doesn't. Yeah, it looks like a napkin. Or it looks like, again, with the child in the romper suit, it looks like he's got, a little pillowcase and he's playing Superman. That's what this looks like. Utterly swing and a miss, guys. Swing and a miss. Now, what also worries me about the costume is the red plastic sort of detailing on here. Looks beautiful. Looks really, really nice. The skull on here, looks terrific. But is it still going to look terrific in a year's time or in 5 years' time? I don't know. But this is the kind of stuff that I hear can peel and crack, and especially at the joints of the wrists. Already when I put the hands on it, it smooshes a little bit. I'm like, you're okay now, but please stay okay. I'm not going to mark the figure down for something that might happen, but I am very aware that it is a possibility. So if it does, I'm going to report back on that. But let's get to some other good stuff, though. And a really good, so good. The head sculpt. The mask. Wonderful. Chef's kiss. Mwah! Love it. This looks badass. Which is such a shame that the rest of the costume doesn't kind of mirror how awesome this looks here. Because the sculpted in expression, I'm sweating as the heat of the summertime here. The sculpted in expression, just wipe it on my shirt, lovely. That looks awesome. The raised up spider design on the mask, the eyes. I always loved this design where he doesn't have eye lenses, but he has the pattern around it that creates that effect. So cool. Such a wicked design. Big bang of 90s coming off this. That's what's awesome. And then also, you've got the huge big blades coming out of his forearms, which I am terrified of breaking. So I'm so aware that might be a thing. I'm really treating it with kid gloves. Very, very aware of that. Now, going around to the back of the suit, again, Mezco, look at this. I mean, you talk about wearing a nappy or pajamas. All this stitching here around his slightly rotund butt, it does look silly. And so I'm giving it to you guys. You don't have to convince me, I know. I wish there was paneling lines, something like Cyclops has here, where it just breaks up all of this it's all just blank space. Again, from a graphic design point of view, that's not good. It's not good at all to have all of this empty space. They could have done so much more with that. And the thing is, you can't just say, oh, well, that's what it looks like in the comics. Because Mezco has a track record of doing their own thing to make it work with their style. You could have done that with this, but you didn't. You went super accurate, and that was kind of a mistake. But there's still more good things to talk about, though, as well. All of the accessories, you can take a little look at all the different fists here. You can get as many different combinations. It's like there's about 3 or 4 different slightly altered claw type hands. Then you've got the hands for gripping the webs, and of course the fists as well. So great variety there, and tons of different webs as well. I really, really like the web designs, so you can position him in nice kind of poses. That's kind of cool. And of course we've got this huge big web here as well, which is kind of fun. But there's nowhere that I can see, you can't really plug it into anything. So I'm not sure the best way of utilizing this, because I want to utilize it. Because it's fun. It's a cool Spider-Man accessory. I'm just not sure how best to use it. Also, I can imagine this is kind of fragile and brittle. So I imagine that when these are being sold secondhand in a few years, you'll have to be careful to find one of these that's still fully intact. So I'm going to be careful with that. But yeah, got some nice accessories there, along with also, he's got his communicator. He's got his little wrist communicator here, which is nice because you've got the hologram of his lady who projects out of there. I forget her name. I've read a few Spider-Man 2099 comics, but I'm not an expert in Miguel O'Hara by any means. But it's nice to have that there. That's kind of cool. And then also we've got the other heads. And these are really nice. You got his awesome mask up vampire type look. Because I don't think he's vampiric, but he does have pointy incisors, because his powers are different from Spider-Man's. There is some variation there. So this is a really cool looking one. This actually looks very dynamic, very badass. I dig this. So that one's really cool. And then you've got the straight up Miguel O'Hara kind of head. And this is kind of a fine sort of generic type head. I mean, I'm not going to display him like this. This will just go straight into the nice little plastic baggie that Mezco give you for the bits and pieces that you don't need. It's a decent, acceptable generic man head, but that's all I can really say for it. So there's not too much going on there. But one other thing I want to point out that I do really love is the amount of details on his hands, on the gloves, the palms. This is fantastic. All those little ridges, those little circles. I'm not sure like what they do. It almost looks a little bit like Morbius from the cartoon with he needs his plasma. But that's obviously not the case. But it might just be details, because he's got the hooks on his fingers that help him cling to walls. That's where he's different from Spider-Man. Whew, still schwitzing over here. So yeah, the gloves are really nice. There's more detail. I just wish the detail of the gloves and the head, it's like a different action figure compared to the body, which is kind of lacking. But then when you do hold it back like this and take him in as a whole, that's where he starts to look really cool. It's just the socky features. Oh, yeah, they're pretty prevalent. Now we can move on to the articulation, and again, this is where Mezco doesn't really lend itself too much to spider characters because of the fact that it is a cloth costume. You've got to be, limited with how you maneuver him because it's only going to bend and flex with the stitching and whatnot. So you've got to be a little bit aware of that. You can still get him in some quite fun sort of poses, but nothing crazy. Nothing like you could do with a Marvel Legend or even, a Mafex. Something like that you can really go ham with. But at least you can get him in a decent enough kind of pose where it looks like he is, jumping through the air and about to lash out or grab a wall or something. So it's dynamic enough. And it will look even more dynamic on the lovely stand that Mezco give with this guy. I'm a big fan of the Mezco stands. They just make everything look so cool. And also, these stands, these are heavy duty. These are really strong, so you can have a heavy figure in here and it'll hold up nicely. So this little design, super pretty. So as a figure that just stands alone on his own, looks great. And let's do a little comparison. I'm going to show you what he looks like compared to some other spider characters. So here we've got the Mezco Spider-Man 2099 looking resplendent there. And first of all, we're going to pair him up with the black costume Marvel Legend Retro Spider-Man. And you can see that the two lines, they do differ slightly in scale. They're both 6-inch. However, the Mezco is a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier. But that's just sort of the typical Mezco human proportions. Then we're going to put the Kane Scarlet Spider, who's on the Sunfire body, who again you can see a little bit smaller, but they can still just about work together. And then finally we've got the very skinny Pizza Spider-Man. So the Marvel Legends, they all rack up quite nicely next to each other, but definitely the Mezco, there's a bit more chonk to him. And certainly if we then put the Mafex next to him, you can see that Mafex is considerably smaller, considerably skinnier. So yeah, they do kind of work in the display together. You know me. I love pairing up all my different lines and just getting a fun mismatch of stuff. It's fun for me, but certainly if you're a real stickler for, no, this person should be bigger than this person, vice versa, this doesn't quite work out too well. But then finally, just for fun, I'm going to throw in my big, chonky Spider-Side custom on the Caliban buck. So you can see he actually is like pretty massive in comparison. But on the whole, I just love seeing all these spider guys together. Super fun, makes for an awesome display. So guys, that is the gist on Mezco Spider-Man 2099. So you know what? Let's give him an official model behavior rating. So finally, with all points considered, I'm going to give Mezco Spider-Man 2099 a 5 out of 10. Right slap bang in the middle. Now guys, I know some of you might think, hey, that's a bit of a mean grade, but actually 5 is exactly that. It is an average example of a Mezco action figure, and depending on whether or not you like the Mezco style, your mileage is going to vary. I really love it, but there are so many points that I feel they could have made it better, but they just chose to go a different route. I feel that if they had put more paneling and line work on the suit, it would have looked so much better, broken up that sock kind of image. If they had done more with the web cape at the back, I didn't mention it is wired. That is nice, so you can pose it, but it's so small. It just looks a little silly. They should have made it look more ratty, more tatty, and I think grey as well. The bright white, yeah, it just looks like a napkin. So little things they could have changed, but all the accessories, the heads, the stand, that's all beautiful. And the masked face sculpt, so badass. So I'm so happy I have him. And when you have something that you genuinely love, you love it despite its flaws. And that is something that is so true with this. I really genuinely love it, but I can see where they could have done better. Hopefully next time, Mezco takes some of these lessons on board, and when we get our new retro Spider-Man, they've just tweaked a few things here and there to make him the best figure possible. But guys, that does it for my review of Mezco Spider-Man 2099. What do you think about the sock wearing Mezco figures? Comment below, let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you want to go one step beyond and supporting the channel, you can do. You can go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior, chuck a couple of bucks my way and watch all the exclusive videos on there. Or you can stay right here on YouTube, get yourself a channel membership. And again, you can watch those same videos at the moment. I've just uploaded a brand new review of the Marvel Legends Vulcan figure, and another review has just gone live of the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat Kintaro. So you can check those out either in the Patreon or the members section. Or if you don't have any bucks to toss my way, that's absolutely fine as well, because the real meat and potatoes of the channel is always going to be here absolutely free. So gang, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior. Hey there gang, if you enjoyed this episode and this channel in general, then maybe you might want to head over to my new, brand spanking new channel, Model Behavior Wrestling. For all your pro wrestling content from WWE to AEW, New Japan, and all points in between, you can head over there right now, subscribe, and the channel will launch officially on August 1st with a whole bunch of videos already there for your binging enjoyment. So guys, head on over, Model Behavior Wrestling, and be a part of the whole new era of the Model Behavior brand, expanding throughout the world like the juggernaut that it is in my mind. Head on over. Enjoy.
Big time.